he was into it. He was all proud of himself. So he says, Nile, darling, I think this could be a hit. So I listened to him play it, and it didn't suck, but it was not what we had agreed upon, because, check this out, because prior to writing any music, David and I had gone and we had done all this research. We listened to music and we listened to all of this cool stuff because he was so into jazz. And then we got pictures, all these rock and roll pictures, and then finally, the thing that just sealed the deal was he came to my apartment one day and he had a picture of Little Richard in a red suit getting into a red Cadillac, and he had the pumping, he had the hair hanging out to there. And he says, nah, look at this. That's fucking rock and roll. That's fucking rock and roll. And he said, that's what I want my album to sound like. So when he came in there doing this, I was like, that's not fucking Little Richard in the red suit. So what I did was I said, so David, I'll play it in A minor, which is how he had written the thing. So then I said, well, why don't I move it up to B flat? Because in A minor you have, you have those sympathetic harmonics. So I moved it up just a half step. Now it's dead, right? No extra vibrations, right? So instead of going, I just stayed on the, and I went, right? And that was like, and that felt good to me, but I thought, well, since David likes jazz, what if I go, instead of going, what if I go and invert it? And then he was like, fucking hell. And I never, like, David doesn't really curse a lot. And I inverted it up there. And then here's what sealed the deal, man. This is what made me David Bowie's producer. Check this out, a rock and roll song, I dropped this next chord on him. B flat minor 9 with a 13. So the song goes. And then he was like, fuck yeah. And then I went. And I started doing my Nile Chuck. I started going. And then, thank you. And then we hired these local jazz guys in Switzerland. So I wrote out the whole arrangement. We hired these local jazz guys, and we ran in there and we did a demo. And if you could have seen David's face when he heard his new version of Let's Dance, he was like, wow, this is incredible, that's a hit. And that became the template for the rest of the album. That song, that little demo showed us, to me, that was Little Richard in the red suit, getting in the red Cadillac. And just to show you how consistent David is as an artist, go back and look at the cover of Let's Dance. Now that I've told you the Little Richard story, he's got a yellow suit on, and his hair is the same color yellow as the suit. Just like Little Richard was red and red, he was yellow and yellow. And it was exactly monochromatic, and it was cooler than shit. And then the same kind of thing happened with China Girl. He gave me the Iggy Pop version of China Girl, and it was cool. I liked it a lot. It was hard. It was sort of thrashy sounding, but he had told me that he wanted an album of hits, and it was clearly an album cut and not a single. So I was struggling over this. I was like, damn, how do I make this thing into a hit? Because all of my songs all start with the chorus. And the reason for that is that in black music in America, we have a very small format. There aren't very many radio stations that play black music. So we always wanted to make sure our records got played. So every record I write starts with the chorus. They go, 1, 2, aww. Freak out. Come on, guys. 1, 2, aww. Freak out. Exactly. That's how my songs start. They all start, the very first words out of our mouths are the name of the song. So when we did Let's Dance, David gave me an award once, and he says, Nile Rodgers, the only fucking man. He didn't say fucking. He said he's the only man to make me start a song with a chorus. And the first words out of his mouth on Let's Dance are, Let's Dance. Exactly. So when we did China Girl, which